What's going on, everyone? It's Jacob. In this video, I'm going to answer the question of when should you start building a personal brand in your online business. Now, this is a question that I get a lot from people, particularly over in my Facebook group. People are unsure, when should I start a brand? They don't feel qualified. They don't feel like they've got enough results. They don't feel like people will listen to them. They've got nothing to say. They don't know what content to put out there in order to actually start building that brand. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because a personal brand is one of the fastest ways to start making money online, and the answer that I'm going to give you is probably going to surprise you. So watch this one all the way through, and it really might be the thing that unlocks the next step in your online business and gets you making more and more money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the intro, then we're going to dive right into it. All right, what's going on, everyone? Before we dive straight into the content, if this is your first time here on the channel, click that big red button and subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any videos that I drop. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments, and if you get any value from this video, be sure to smash the like button because it helps me get the video out to more people and grow the channel and do all that kind of stuff. So with all that out of the way, when should you be starting your personal brand? Now, my advice is ASAP. You see, when I first got started online, I was in a position with my job where I actually couldn't. And I know that I also had some pretty serious limiting beliefs that I know a lot of people have around, no one's going to listen to me, why would anybody pay attention to me? You know, there's all these other people out there that they can listen to. And as I've gotten further and further into my online career, my online journey, and as I've learned more and more stuff, it's become clearer and clearer to me how wrong that perspective is. Now, I was in a slightly different position where I actually couldn't start building a personal brand because of my job, and that definitely held me back. I know I'd be a lot further along if I'd been able to do that while I was working, but just because of the job that I had, I couldn't. But if you're in the position where you actually can, and it's just limiting beliefs that are holding you back, as in, I care what other people think, I don't know what I'd say, I've got no results, I've got no proof, I'm brand new. Any of those things, if any of those beliefs are what is stopping you, and it's not an actual concrete reason that might jeopardize your current income, that might put something else at risk, then there is nothing stopping you today starting to build a personal brand. And I want to address each of those core beliefs that I know hold people back. The big one is that people think no one will listen to them. And I'm here to say that that is total crap. What you need to realize is a couple of things. There's new people entering this online business space every second of every day. There's new people coming online all the time, and they're always looking to learn. Just because you aren't currently, making multiple 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures online, that doesn't mean that you can't provide value to people. That doesn't mean that you don't have stories to share. That doesn't mean that you can't help somebody who's just getting started. There's the old analogy of, being one lesson ahead of the student, and online it's very, very true. And it's actually way more powerful than you might think, because if you start documenting your journey from day one, and even if you've got a small audience, it starts to grow, people see you go from having no business to making a little bit of money, to making more money, and to making a lot of money. Seeing that entire progression is actually way more powerful than like what I had to do, which was I was kind of already getting results and then I started building my brand. In my opinion, it's actually more powerful if people see you building from day one, because they follow along. They become really involved in your journey. They become really really attached to your story, and the attraction marketing power of that is incredibly powerful. Now, people are going to say, yeah, okay, that's all well and good, that's fine, but I'm not an expert in anything. I've got nothing to share. I can't give any value. And again, it's just not accurate. If you're in the online business and you're serious about it, then chances are you're consuming a lot of information. Chances are you're learning a lot every day. You're watching YouTube videos like this one. You're reading blog posts. You're engaging in Facebook groups. You're engaging on Facebook. You're on Instagram. Whatever it is that you're doing, chances are, if you're like me and you're like most people online, you're consuming a ton of information that's going in, and every day your knowledge and your experience is getting more and more. Chances are you're also buying courses. You're also buying programs, or maybe you have in the past. Most people online have at some point. Those all contain valuable learning experiences that form part of your journey that you can document and you can share with your audience. If you start doing that from day one, then when things really start to take off, you're going to have this whole journey documented that people can go and see and they can look at and they can follow along, and it's going to inspire them. And it's an incredibly, incredibly powerful thing. Now, when I say you're consuming content and you can use that to fuel your own content, I don't mean copying people's content. I don't mean anything like that. I mean what you can do is take what you're consuming, you can implement it, and you can document that process. You can report back on your wins, you can report back on your failures, you can report back on cool stuff that happens, or on interesting things that you find out, or on anything along the path, any programs you join, any new products that you buy that you might interest people. Those are all things that you can document along the way. And what you're going to find is if you do that consistently, people become really, really invested. And that's just the first part of it. The value component, sharing valuable content, is really only one part of the equation. When I teach people about starting an online business from scratch and putting out content, we talk about content in 3 buckets, which is a strategy that I learned off a few people online. And it's this concept of this results, value, and lifestyle. There's a couple of copywriters out there, there's a couple of affiliate marketers that talk about it. And what that effectively means is that your content should fall into one of those 3 buckets. So value, like we just spoke about, and the other 2 being results and lifestyle. And what results means is really just if you're promoting something, be it your own product or an affiliate marketing product or whatever, it's just sharing with people that actually works. And again, people are going to say, but Jacob, I don't have my own results. And that's totally cool. You can leverage the results that other people are getting with that product in the interim. And that is going to build trust and authority and proof that the product that you are selling works. That's particularly powerful in the affiliate marketing space. That's the results piece. Just constantly dripping content out there that what you are promoting or what you're selling works, and it's getting results for people. So we've got value, we've got the results, and the last piece is the lifestyle, right? And lifestyle doesn't have to be, I'm currently here on the Gold Coast and I've got a pretty sweet view, and that would, typically be what people would use in terms of lifestyle content. But again, total crap. It doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't have to be the Lambos and the resorts and the cocktails by the beach. It is literally comes down to psychology. It comes down to showing people that you are a real person. It comes down to showing them that you are relatable. It comes down to showing them that you've got a family, or showing them that you're working a full-time job and you get what they're going through, or showing them that you're out at the football match or you're out getting coffee or whatever. The whole point of it isn't to show off some fancy lifestyle. The point of it is to show that you are a real person. And when you combine that with value content like we spoke about, and when you combine that with results content like we spoke about, that is a really, really powerful kind of 3-piece structure to put out consistent content. And it's really, really easy to come up with it. Most people overthink it. It's actually really, really simple. So when you can overcome that hurdle of I've got nothing to share, and you start thinking about the things that you've done in life, the people that you've met, the experiences that you've had, your highs, your lows, all of these things, successes, failures, all the stuff that you're learning now, when you start and write all that out, you'll start to realize really, really quickly that actually you've got a lot that you can share with people. And all of that content can fuel your brand. Is it going to be easy when you first get started to get people to pay a ton of attention? No. But it will grow really, really quickly if you do it strategically. 2 guys in my mastermind started their Facebook brand basically from scratch a couple of months ago. And in the last 7 days, they both had massive days online. One had a $750 day, one had a $963 day or something. And they started it from scratch. And the point is that you don't need to be that far along to get people to listen and to get people to pay attention. So what I would say is put that limiting belief to the side that you have to be experienced, you have to have all these results, you have to have all this success to start sharing and to start documenting, and just start doing it. Because the sooner you start, the bigger it's going to get faster. The sooner you start, the earlier people are going to see you in your journey, and they're going to follow along for the entire process. And the people that really do follow along will be true fans. And those are the fans who will stick with you through thick and thin. They'll fight back against your haters for you. They'll be there from day one until however long they're in the space for. So really the short of it is start doing it ASAP. Start building that brand. Now, the next thing is, what's the best platform to do it on? And really you can use any platform, right? You can use any platform to apply that formula. You can use YouTube, you can use a blog, you can use Facebook. As at the time of filming this video, in January 2020, it is my firm belief that the best place for you to start building your personal brand is on Facebook, particularly your personal profile, for a couple of reasons, which I'll talk about in a second, and combining that with a Facebook group. Okay, now why Facebook? If you think about YouTube and if you think about a blog and Instagram to some degree, the content that you're putting out on there, you're waiting for the algorithm to send people to you, right? YouTube, you're waiting for it to rank or get suggested, and on a blog, you're waiting for it to rank in Google, right? Now, when you're brand new, it takes a long time to build up traction on those platforms. And if you want to start seeing results coming in faster, which I know people that are getting started do, and I totally get it, it's human nature, and you want to see an ROI, a return on investment of your time, then instead of waiting, what I tell people to do is, well, why don't we just go out and find those people? Why don't we bring them into our audience? And Facebook is the best platform to do that, in my opinion, because Facebook does a really good job of segmenting people. You can go and join groups, and if people are in that group, it's pretty clear that they either fit or don't fit into, the ideal person that you want following your brand based on what products you're selling, okay? And what we can do is we simply add them as a friend. Is every person going to accept our friend request? No. But Facebook allows us to have 5,000 friends on our personal profile. And that is effectively like 5,000 people that could be in our fan base, our audience for our brand. And we can churn that friends list over. If there's people that aren't engaging, we can remove them. We can go and find new targeted friends to grow our brand, right? So if you're the type of person like me who in business doesn't like waiting for things to happen, if you are more the type that I want to go make this happen now, then in my opinion, Facebook is the best platform to do that. And if you combine that strategy of going and finding those people, bringing them into your world, and then documenting with that type of content that I spoke about, it's a really great combination. It's a really great way for people to get started building their brand, even if they don't have a ton of experience, even if they don't have a ton of results, okay? Now, you can take this one step further and start your own Facebook group. And the same stuff I hear over and over again. Jacob, I've got no experience, I've got no results, I can't start a Facebook group. It's the exact same as documenting on any other platform. It's just that you're creating this like inner circle. You're creating this like close-knit community where you share your story, your value, your results, and people follow along for the journey. The reason I recommend people get a Facebook group is because once you implement the strategies, and I've got a video on my channel about how to get your first 1,000 members ASAP, go watch that, and it'll get you started. What then is going to happen is Facebook is smart enough to go, okay, these are the type of people that are in this group. I'm going to start sending more of them to that group. They start recommending it. And so it starts growing your audience for you. It starts recommending your group, and you'll start getting 10, 20, 30 or more new member requests per day. And when you combine that with a proactive approach on your personal Facebook profile and putting out content in that structure like I walked you through, you can really, really quickly build up a personal brand from scratch without needing experience, without needing results, right? Just by providing value, sharing results of the product that you're promoting, and sharing your life and showing people that you're a real person. That's the exact process that the two gents that I mentioned before went through, and they just had big breakthroughs, $750 a day, $960 a day, after just starting this process a couple of months ago from scratch. Now, is that the most money in the world? No, but they now have a proven formula to keep doing this, and that's going to start to happen more and more regularly. And when you look at the statistics about how little most people make, and I'm talking about specifically affiliate marketing here because that's what I specialize in, that is amazing. To be doing that so quickly and having that result in one day, that's more than a lot of people ever make online. So this process really, 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 really works. And then once you've got that piece of it dialed in, you've got the profile dialed in, you've got the group dialed in, you can start to go and venture out onto other platforms like YouTube, like a blog. And you can start to build your business in layers when you've got that core brand, because then you can leverage that brand to start growing on the other platforms that take a little bit longer, where you're waiting for those platforms' algorithm to bring people to you, you can kickstart it using the brand that you've built on Facebook. So hopefully this inspires at least one person to go out there and start building that personal brand today. Because if you start it today, then in 12 months' time, it could be, unbelievably powerful, a big asset that's made you a good amount of money in 2020. Whereas if you don't, you'll never know, and you're just waiting another year for what? Like, what's the point? Why not start it now? I'm telling you, if you do it and you do it consistently, you will get results. So hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully that inspires at least one person to go out and start building that personal brand today, because I'm telling you, it'll work and it'll get you results faster than if you don't do it. And in 5 years' time, starting today, you're going to be really, really thankful that you started now instead of waiting. So go and do that. If you've been on the fence, jump in, start building that personal brand, start sharing your story, start sharing what you know, start sharing value, start sharing results, start sharing your life, and people are going to be drawn to you, and people are going to start to reach out to you. And that's when you're going to start to make more and more money online. Hopefully you got some value from this. If you got any questions, leave them below. Be sure to smash the like button if you did get any value. If you haven't already subscribed, push the big red button and then turn on the bell notifications. And I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.